dear viewers. Welcome back. It is I, your wizardy companion. And today I would like to introduce you to my friend, Mr. Robot. Beep, boop, beep. I am Mr. Robot. As you see, Mr. Robot is technologically advanced. He is from the future. He will be accompanying us on our journey today, as I cannot find my magic wand. Mr. Robot, can you please guide us through today's journey? Beep, boop, beep. Yes, we shall venture off into the future to get a message from your future self. Boop. Oh, how enchanting. Get it? Because I'm a wizard. Anywho, tally-ho! Boop, beep, boop. We have arrived. Oh, what a wild journey that was, my dear Mr. Robot. But well worth the wait. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. This is Milka speaking. I am not the captain of this ship. That would be Mr. Robot. But as our little friends have already expressed, today's video is going to be about a muture from your future self, a message from your future self. So yeah, we're actually doing a little bit interesting stuff with the pile selection, you guys. I know it's been a while since I've used objects in addition to cards. Fear not, okay, because I will start using objects occasionally soon. But for now, we are going to look at the cards. They are a mystery to me as well, okay? So what we're gonna do is we are going to place a die, or one of the dice, on each card, and you guys will just choose whatever came up on the die, okay? So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna roll the dice to see what the top facing thing will be. Okay, and before I get into it, I did want to let you guys know, with my little shameless self-plug, that I do private and personal readings, as well as custom crystal bracelets. And also I wanted to let you guys know that I actually posted a new affirmation song for the root chakra and for safety, security, and feeling lovable or loved. Or feeling safe to love. I posted a new song on my other channel. Here is a little snippet of it. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am God's love. I am loved, I am loved, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe to be loved. And yeah, if you guys are interested in hearing the rest of the song, I have it on my I have a playlist on this channel actually. You can either click on the other channel in the description box below, or I do have a playlist on this channel called, I think it's like affirmation songs or something. So it is the most latest one. It is on there as well. But yes, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet, I even do custom affirmation songs based on whatever it is that you were trying to accomplish or want to feel more of in your life, or to heal and all of this stuff. You can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through the email below. Also, I just wanted to let you guys know, y'all, I am doing my mostest, okay? I am really trying with Instagram. I would totally appreciate your support on there too. My Instagram is in the description box below. I am working on posting almost every day in a week, and trying to do multiple posts as well. But of course, I don't want to just be putting out like BS kind of things for you guys. I want you to actually get real content. So it's stuff that is resonating with me in the moment. So, and I feel like there will be messages for you guys on there too, in addition to updates on regards to the videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got, like I said, I've said it from the beginning, but I feel like now I'm starting to feel those big plans that I have for this channel coming into action. So it's very exciting. But yes, without further ado, let us get into the pile selection. Group 1, your little thing on the dice is the number 6, or the 6th house. Okay, for group number 2, it is the number 11, or the 11th house, right? Which I guess 6 would be associated with Virgo most of the time, or in tarot it can also be associated with the Lover's card. 11 is associated with Justice, but sometimes people use 11 for the Strength card depending on which person is making the deck, but usually it's known to be Justice. And it's also associated with the sign of Aquarius. Okay, then we have Capricorn, which is also associated, this is group number 3 by the way, with the 10th house and the Devil card. Which, don't take that as a negative connotation, you guys. Just think of it as Capricorn of the 10th house, or career success, you know, let's talk about like career, you know, stuff like that. So, but yes, since we're talking about cards, I mentioned it. And then for the 4th group, we actually have Jupiter, which looks like a 4, a fancy 4. So for you guys, Jupiter is associated with the 9th house and the sign of Sagittarius. It's also associated in tarot, at least that I can think of at the moment, with the Temperance card, because Sagittarius is associated with that. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of in this moment. Oh, and the Wheel of Fortune, of course. At least that's what I think it is. But anyway, regardless, these are the groups. You can just go based off the number or the symbol. I added the other stuff for those of you who are interested. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to choose your group. Hey group 1, this is your group if you chose the number 6. Okay, I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you. I just finished shuffling your cards. There we go. And we will set your die to the side. We shall also reveal your card. What do we have here? The Venom. Interesting. One thing that I do want to note, by the way, you guys, as I was shuffling your cards, especially the tarot cards, the oracle cards were the last ones to be shuffled. So by that point, I was already like, okay, you know, like this is going to be the way that, these are the rest of your cards. I'm going to set them to the side for now. I was like choosing stuff, but with the tarot cards especially, there was a lot of uncertain, like even with this, right? With this card, when I was choosing this card, there was a lot of in and out of the deck. So in the beginning of the reading, there was a lot of uncertainty with what to put down, what to choose, what to take for you guys, like which card to pick out of the deck or the pile. If multiple cards fell out, do I take all of them? Like there was a lot of that, a little bit of doubt. And then towards the end, again, it was kind of like the sensation of, you know what, I'm just gonna pick, it's gonna be fine. So I think this is also gonna be part of your reading. I feel like overthinking can be a little bit of the bane of your existence, right? Sometimes. Especially with the Venom here, I feel like you guys have a very strong mind, and you did choose 6. 6 is Virgo, but Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Okay, so Mercury is about communication and intellect, and I do feel like you guys, your mind may be the thing at play in regards to how much success or how far along you are in your journey, like how much success you have in your life and how far along you are in your journey. Okay, like I feel like your mind plays an integral role in it. And there may be times when you guys hold yourself back because you're overthinking of the situation, or you may feel it's not the time or you're not ready, but it's like you guys are actually supposed to be moving forward. And I kind of feel like whatever is going on, like what happened, because this is a message from your future self. So I feel like your future self is just like, hey, if we can get our mind, and like, it's like your future self is saying, start doing things now, take action now. Okay, I feel like your future self is trying to tell you, for us to get to where we want to be, you know, we can actually get there sooner if you take action now. Don't worry about the logistics. Don't worry about the ready or not ready. Don't worry about how am I going to do it. Start with any kind of step that you can take and go forward from there. Okay, so let's look at your cards. We've got the Two of Wands, the Hermit. Interesting. Hermit is associated with Virgo, actually. Oh, didn't it? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. The Virgo card is the Hanged Man. Sorry. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, Justice. Ooh, interesting. Seduction and addiction. Balance. Wow, and then seeking karmic balance. And then you have the Scales here too. This is so interesting, you guys. So remember, we also talked, because you also have Venom here, right? So it really does feel like you guys are kind of in conflict with something internally, okay? It feels like there is this internal conflict, something that close to around what we were talking about, where it's like you guys either put yourselves down, or it's like you've trained your conscious mind a little bit, or you started getting into like these affirmations and self-help things and realizing like, oh no, I am worthy and all this stuff. But it does seem as though you guys are, it's like you're still in this battle with yourself, right? With your ego, with your subconscious mind, with that inner voice, that like the darker part, the hurt part of you, right? That has kind of given in to staying in the shadows, your shadow self, you could say. Right? Because the shadow really tends to be the place, not always, right? There are different definitions, and different definitions apply for different scenarios. But I feel like in your case, this shadow aspect is this hurt aspect of you guys. That kind of, when it was hurt, it went into this shadowy place, and now it's just like, it needs to be seen and like loved. I think it's just looking to be seen. So it's like replaying these, you can call it your ego too. It's like replaying these old situations or scenarios, or not even scenarios that are real in your head, like things that you're just kind of making up because you assume the outcome is going to be the way that you assume it to be, when that's not necessarily the case. So I feel like it's time for you guys to go back into that inside your mind, and find what is your higher self guidance voice, and what is the voice that is coming through from this dark, so that you can learn to really differentiate them, and the impact and influence that they have on your life. Okay, like your future self is asking you to get this in check now, because I think that this is something that will help bring you what you want sooner. There's so much balance stuff here, right? Like the seduction, addiction, it's like giving into that darker side, giving into that shadow voice within you, to that hurt voice, to the, oh, there's no point in taking action today. It's not like, you know, progress would happen anyway, or you know what, you've got really big goals and dreams. What's another day of not doing something? You know, it's not like it's happening overnight anyway. Well, it's like, if you don't do something, it's never going to happen. You know, so I feel like your future self is just kind of guiding you in regards to this. And I think this is something that can help make your life easier in the future too, if you address it now, which is why there seems to be emphasis here from your future self, because this mindset shift, if you can start working on it now, or continue working on it if you've already kind of become aware of it, then I think you can avoid a lot of hardship later on, a lot of obstacle, like, because if you don't do something on your own, or you don't follow the subtle guidance, the universe then tends to give you bigger and bigger and even bigger signs that you need to be leaving a situation or changing your mindset. And those bigger signs tend to feel more traumatic. or harsh, or like you're left out in the cold. So I feel like your future self is trying to be like, hey, we don't need to be going through this. You've got this. It's time. It's time to start. Go ahead and go on work on your projects. Go ahead and do the things that you want to do. Set up your life the way you've always wanted it. Okay. Now let's look at the other cards. We've got, so the Oracle cards. Yes, we have, ooh, look at that honk. That is taking a while. Okay. Archangel Michael with courage, strength, and protection. We have Archangel Anael with divine joy. It's interesting that both cards are literally the same shade of blue. Blue is, so this kind of blue is not necessarily throat chakra blue. This is closer to like a lighter indigo. So this is making me think of the third eye. The third eye is all about clear vision. It's about clear sight. It's insight. That's what the Hermit is doing with this light. They're looking deeper within. They're trying to illuminate something that they couldn't see before, right? So again, things are, and it's also, when it comes to your mind, it's talking about perspective. The third eye talks about perspective. How do you perceive the world? Are you seeing the truth? Are you seeing illusions? Right? Then we have crown chakra upgrade, divine connection, holy experiences, miraculous energy. See me in their eyes. Look at this. Look at all of the talk about eyes, you guys. About eyes and sight. Whenever conferring with another, either face-to-face or across the miles, whether a human being, departed spirit, or sentient tree, always speak to them, always speak to the highest within them. It makes such a difference. Amen, the universe. P.S. Yeah, as if some trees weren't sentient. Glad you caught that. Okay. The ever-unfolding rose, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. Ooh, that's good. I got chills for that. That's talking about the, like a victim mindset a little bit, right? Like, why does this keep happening to me? Why me? Or like giving into that like shadowy thought, right? Then we have the bear. We also have Lantana with rigorous, exacting, and exhaustive. Okay. And Lily of the Valley with youth and sweetness. I'll shift all these down a little. Okay, we've got a couple more cards, so I'm just trying to make space. We also have, my dear friends, Eros with eroticism, desire, and sex. And air with expansive, intellectual, and inquisitive. Look, we were just talking about Mercury, and Mercury is air energy. It's that intellect. Your mind is air energy. And then we have Pluto. Interesting how there's so much talk about like seduction, right? There's sex, this like darker temptation kind of stuff. And Pluto deals with heavy things as well. So I feel like there is a little bit of a guidance from your future self to be like, really try to avoid the temptations. Like, for example, right? We were talking about the shadow self. Like, if, for example, you guys are trying to change your diet and you're like, well, you know what, I can start one day later. That's fine, you know, because I really want to eat these chips and this cake and this stuff like that. So I can start one day later. What's one day later, you know? But the thing is, when you give into that one day later, it's like you say the same thing every single day. And when do you eventually start? When you finally have like an actual illness that needs to now be cured as opposed to prevented? Because prevention is the best method, right? Because curing can take longer. And it's like, do you want to, like your future self is trying to prevent you from getting to a state where you would need that. They're like, we want you to kind of to change this, to fix this, because this is keeping you from progressing in your life, you know? It's like your future self is asking you to see, like through this reading, because it's being pointed out to you again, maybe. For some of you, it may be the first time, but I think for a majority of you, it's probably like you already know about this, you know? But maybe there's some kind of different way of getting a clarity about it that you can pick up here, because your future self is asking you, like, please focus on the happiness, focus on the joy, find the things that you enjoy about doing the right thing. okay? Because that temptation to keep giving in to that like thought that doesn't serve you, right? Like, oh, we can do it tomorrow. Oh, just one time. Oh, just this. Oh, this will be the last time. Even if you're like watching something that you know is like messing with your psyche or is not really good for you to watch, but you're just like, oh, but it's so like addictive or it's so interesting. You know, like I'm just so invested in this show or in this thing. And it's like, yes. And you're like, oh, I just want to know what happens at the end. After this, I won't start anything new. Well, I'll tell you guys, that's a really slippery slope, right? Because then you'll get so used to watching something, then you're like, you know what? Well, I know that, like I said, I'm going to take a break from this, but I'm eating and I've got nothing to watch. So I'm going to turn on just one episode. Or I'll watch something that I've already watched so it's not damaging. You know, I don't have this urge to finish the show, but it's like, you're still going to have the urge to finish the show, even if it's something that you watched. You know what I mean? So instead of you like stop watching that and watching something that's actually beneficial to you, or like that helps you like clear out your mind, or that brings you real joy, that doesn't trigger that suspense or like absent-mindedness, or you know, makes you feel like you're in the show and you're like feeling those emotions that the characters are feeling. And it's like you're taking on a sadness or anger or embarrassment or frustration or all the stuff that's not even your own, you know? So instead of doing that, like you realize, oh my goodness, all those times I gave in, instead of me just stopping the day when I was like, I should probably stop, I've been doing this for an additional 3 months, you know? So your future self is trying to give you some insight into that. And they're just saying like, hey, you have the strength, you have this willpower. Oh, I'm getting so many chills. You can do this. You know, it's even like your higher self coming through, because we've got this crown chakra upgrade card, right? The divine connection, holy experience, divine joy, courage, strength, and protection. You guys are safe. You are safe. You know, you do not have to give in to the temptation of those thoughts, of the whisper of what may feel like a darker energy, right? Or like the shadow self that gives in to the whisper of temptation. You guys don't have to give in to that anymore. It doesn't have any power over you. All it takes is like, if you can, go away for 3 days. If you can visit a friend, if you can, because I understand not everyone can take a trip or something like that, but visit a good friend, you know, for 3 days, like have a sleepover for 1 night or 2 nights if you can, or something along those lines. It'll help you reset in a different environment. And then so when you come back home, you're like, okay, I'm not falling into this temptation again. I'm not doing this thing again. I'm done. I'm done giving into this. I'm done feeding that shadow. Okay? And there are going to be times when you may feel tempted again, but you guys because you're going to start being attuned by, like I said, watching, like maybe you're watching like KonMari methods of cleaning, or like finding ways to grow your creativity, or you know, like stuff like that, where things that invoke mindfulness and thoughtfulness and excitement of like clearing out your space or your energy, and like excitement for the progress that you are making or will be making, stuff like that. Like that's more aligned with like this divine energy. So as you guys like fall into that a little bit more, I do feel like every once in a while you'll hear like that ringing of the doorbell, right, of the temptation of just like, oh, but I miss watching this show. Oh, but I miss doing this. Oh, but I miss the taste of cake, you know? And it's like, you already went a few days strong. Can you keep going strong? This like guidance from your future self, from your higher self, and from your spiritual, like your team. It feels like you guys have a team of beings, like your spirit guides, that are really trying to help give you strength for this. Right? They're like, you can do this. You can overcome this. We have faith. We believe in you. Okay? And they're just like, we know the temptation is strong, but you know what? Distract yourself with something else, or communicate with us when you're distracted. Okay? You guys have got this. You are strong. Yeah. I think that's, let me see if there's anything else. And it's also like this perspective shift, right? As you guys kind of shift from consuming, like, for example, those kinds of shows and stuff like that. Like, for example, if you're watching a lot of K-drama, you're like, oh, but this is a sweet show. But you know what? you're still consuming content that's taking you into another world. I say K-drama because that's kind of what happened to me personally. I went on this little road of watching all of these K-dramas, and I kind of fell into a little bit of an addiction, you know? And like K-dramas, even if it's just 16 episodes, they're like an hour long, you know? Sometimes they go a little longer than an hour, depending on the show you're watching. Chinese dramas, forget about it. There's like no measure of time that they can go for sometimes. Like the episodes are always like an hour or an hour and 20, whatever. It's a whole thing. Not all of them. I'm sure there's shorter stuff too, but I fell into this like pattern, right? And I didn't realize until I told myself, you know what, I'm going to do like a detox of 3 days. I wasn't doing anything productive, you guys. I just like fell into this pattern of watching Korean dramas, and because they're so interesting and the worlds that they were building were so cute and the characters were so cute, and when the love unfolded, it was so cute. But it's a really good distraction tactic. You know, I also had this at some point like years ago with Bollywood movies. Let me tell you something, binging Bollywood movies, you realize, like after watching 2 Bollywood movies in one day, I was like, I cannot do this ever again. Because not only are the movies usually longer than like a standard Western movie, though nowadays Western movies have become longer, like you've got some, but still, like Bollywood movies are quite long, especially some, like there's a Bollywood movie that's like 4 hours long. I know there's Western movies that are 4 hours long, but at least from my experience with Bollywood movies, they tend to run longer than most Western movies. Again, that's just from my personal experience. Maybe that's just the way I perceive them or the specific ones that I've watched. But yes, you know, so watching a couple of them in a row, I was like, oh my gosh, the whole day is gone. So it's like, instead, and even with the K, like I realized it was kind of like a bit of an addiction at some point. Like it seems silly to say, and honestly, I don't like saying it, but it's the truth, because I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I want to watch. I was like, after this series, I'm done. I'll take a 3-day break. But then I'm doing something and I'm like, you know what? I need to kind of shut down a little bit, like, because I do this work and sometimes I overgive when I do readings and all of this stuff, and emotionally and like with personal clients, and I just feel drained. And right now I don't want to be doing productive things. I just want to break for an hour or two. But like that hour or two turns into 16 hours because I binge watched the show. And then the cycle just kept repeating. And I was like, you know what? I was actually doing a reading for this channel when I realized, I was like, yeah, I should be watching more productive stuff. It was like a few readings ago that it came out in a group, and I was like, ooh, child, this is speaking to me too. So, and watching that productive stuff, I saw a huge change in myself. Like it feels like stuff started getting unblocked too, and I realized just how heavy the energy of even just watching regular TV shows is, you know? So I feel like you guys are really coming through with this message, and so is your future self. Of we want you to kind of to notice that, to kind of get this realization, and to just let go. Do things that are productive. Do things that are good for you. If you want to watch something to like shut off for a little bit because you're tired, watch something like home renovations or something like that, you know, not like an actual television show with characters or like where you're following someone's life. Because then it's so easy to get consumed by those people's lives and kind of lose track of your own. And this way, this stuff will be more inspiring and it'll keep you productive, right? Because it's time for you guys to take action. Like, it's been time, okay? All right, group 1, that was your message. I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. I know it was a little bit of a call out. Did you guys resonate with like the binge? I know I used it as an example. Obviously, it's a general reading. Everyone's going to have different stuff. But did you guys possibly resonate with the binge watching example? Because that one was the one for me, to be honest with you. And also, I was wondering too, what readings you guys would like to see. Something that I'm looking forward to doing is taking like viewer requests, and maybe at some point I would like to do like live videos on YouTube, you know, where maybe we can do a couple of readings or something on the live. We'll see. Like I said, big plans for the channel. But yes, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. I'd also appreciate if you would like to subscribe to this channel, obviously only if you would like. It does show support for the channel, and you know, always kind of like brings a little bit of joy and all this stuff, but also you would be up to date on any time I post new things. And like I said, I would really appreciate if you guys followed me on Instagram so that, you know, it will help motivate me to consistently post on there great stuff for you. You know, really it is content for you guys. The NutAeum Instagram is for the people, you know. But yes, also, yeah, I think that's actually all I had to say. But yeah, that was your reading, guys. Lots of love to you. And again, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below, okay? And yeah, sending you guys lots of love, lots of light. I love you, Group 1. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys. Hey Group 2, this is your group if you chose the number 11. I just want to say you guys are Group 2. This is a Roman numeral 2 as well, right? But I also just saw 222 on the clock, so lots of 2 for you guys. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. First off, let me ring the singing bowl. Oh, a fly. Yeah, you see the fact that the fly came up here, and I feel lots of anxious energy in my chest. So I don't know if you guys have like anxiety or something along those lines, because there is anxious energy. And as I was shuffling, I was feeling super anxious. And child, your cards were coming out like flying. Okay. You guys made me work. You really made me work. I had to close the table, pick up cards from the floor. They were just flying. I'm not talking about like falling out. I'm talking like they flew far away. Okay, so I feel like your future self does have something important to say, but I also think that it has to do something in regards to the anxiety. So let's actually reveal this card. It's a reveal for me too. What is it? Alethea. Okay. This is the time when I would need the book. I hardly ever look at the book, but I have no idea what this word is. But that's okay, because we're going to look at it. I think this is interesting because we've got duality here, right? With 11, 1 and 1. 2 is also, it's duality. And then you have that here, 1 and 1, right? Like you have 2, opposition, yin and yang, balance. And I feel like there's a message here that I'm going to be talking about very soon, but I already shuffled your cards and I want to reveal the tarot first. Okay, guys? So we've got the Ace of Swords. Let's see. The 5 of Wands. The King of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of air, mental, like, I don't know. Last group had mental, not mental. That doesn't sound wrong. That doesn't sound wrong. I was going to say, whoa, that doesn't sound right. I don't want to say they had mental, like, qualities as in like mentally ill or something, but it was like a lot of mental stimulation, right? So like they had a lot of air stuff in their group too. So I'm also getting air kind of stuff with you guys too. So we also have the Page of Cups, the Pulse of Life with Galactic Core. Ooh. Seeing the One with Earth, Community with Associations of Worlds. Wow, you guys got some interesting ones with these. And you know what? I kind of feel like with you guys, I should just reveal the Oracle cards as well. So I'm going to do that now. We have Archangel Gabriel with Divine Inner Strength. Look how beautiful this card is. I literally love this card. I love how pretty the pink is. It's so like, it's the right shade, you know. We have Blue Spectrum. The Solar Light Upgrade, Solar Plexus Chakra, Inner Fire, Willpower. You have more options than you realize. It says, it sure is hard to get really angry at someone when you can think of all the reasons you love them. And you can, the universe. You guys actually got 2 of these cards. Then you have Turn on Your Love Light. Interesting. Sometimes the best way to remain sane is to love like crazy. Works for me, the universe. It's funny. You have crazy here. I was saying mental earlier. This is funny. I wonder if that's like terminology. I wonder if we're going to be talking about the terms that you guys use, you know, the words that you use as well. Because words are powerful, but it feels like you guys have a lot. Yeah, okay, yes. It feels like, and then I saw this. Yes, just say yes. Yeah. Let me reveal all the cards and then I'll get into the message. Then we have Robin Rose, excitement and enthusiasm. Dahlia, a yellow dahlia, with joy and childish happiness. I hope you guys can see this far. Let me move the cards a little over so you guys can see everything. Oh, then you guys have the Swan with the duality again, and the Scorpion. And you guys have Juno with marriage, commitment, and bonds. Hopefully you guys can pick this up. Hopefully you can see all here. I think I can put it here. That's fine. And we have Venus with beauty, artistry, and love. We also have a full moon. And hold on, one more shift of everything. Boop. And Aquarius, okay? So give me a moment to compose everything. I feel like you guys have a couple of messages here from your future selves. Yeah, sorry for the long pause, you guys. I think what I'm getting here is I feel like your future self is asking you to start. I think you guys have already started this, to be honest with you, but I think they're like commenting on it about the process. It's to like, you guys are opening yourselves up for love. You're opening yourselves up to receive love. And it's not just romantic love, you know, it's like divine love as well, right? Divine love, friendship love, parental love, you know, to actually feel the love from your parents as opposed to just being like, I know they love me. Doesn't mean that you feel that, you know. Sometimes their past experiences are the things that kind of like, even if are like you had like a hard time with your parents in the past, but they're showing you love now, sometimes we're still living in that past moment, so we're not feeling or seeing that love. So I feel like your future self is actually, they want to commend you for the fact that you've started this journey of seeing the love, and they want to advise you to continue to open your heart up to love, to receive divine love, because this is going to be a key factor. This is, you guys are in this phase where it feels like there's a lot of potential energy around you. Stuff is going to start manifesting like I was going to say like crazy, right? But not like crazy, like incredibly, okay? Because I feel very aware of the words that I'm using in this group and the words that are being chosen. So I feel like there is an emphasis on the way that you guys speak. I think you guys are, again, like there's so much potential energy around you, and you're like on fertile grounds to plant seeds to get things that you want, and they would come in a little quicker than before because you guys are doing this whole heart opening thing, right? That your future self is advising about. I feel like, and it also seems like there's a creative endeavor, right? So there is an emphasis. Your future self is saying, go with your creativity, go with your gut flow and instincts. Don't think too much, just go for it. That seems to be a kind of general message for a lot of people right now, I feel like. Also, the words. Be mindful of the words that you guys use to describe things, guys, okay? Like actually, I was talking to somebody about this not too long ago. I was saying, I don't know how it is in other countries, right? Other countries have different slang and all of this stuff. But at least the slang words that we use here in the US, you know, like mad crazy, right? Like when something is like, oh, hard to believe, be like, oh, that's mad crazy. Or like when something is like somebody experiences a synchronicity or something that like, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. You know, like, whoa, that's cool. People say like, that's mad crazy, or that's crazy, or that's, you know, stuff like that. It's like, or things along the lines of, what's another slang? Oh, when you like something, that's sick. Sick, right? Or along the line, let's see what else I can think of in the moment. When something is shocking or like bewildering, you'll say, that's insane, right? In addition to that's crazy, or like that's mental, or that's wild, you know? Or like when somebody is doing something good and you're trying to encourage them, you say slay, you're killing it. Let's see what else there is. Or like even when you try to be like, oh, this person is like for a boss woman, you know, or like she's cool, right? You'll be like, oh, that's a bad bitch, right? So it's like bad, right? Use the word bad to describe something that you think is good or cool. So they're all like, it's been engraved in the slang, so people don't really think about it. You just think you're using slang terms. But look at all of these slang terms. All of them on some level are negative. They have a negative connotation to them. They're using a negative word as if it's in a positive light. And that word has already an energetic association with it that it has had for many, many years. So our language is affecting the way that, like, the energy of the things that we create, right, of our lives, because we're putting in the speech. We're using those words that already have a collective energy that have been imbued into them, and we're saying it. Like, for example, right, like when in the K-dramas that I've watched, right, because that was something that I mentioned in another group, like that I had this little phase, or I was just watching so many K-dramas. I've put an end to that. Need a mental break, right? But something that I've noticed them saying a lot is, do you want to die? You know, kind of like if they get irritated or something, it's like, do you have a death wish? Do you want to die? And it's like, instead of saying stop or like you're irritating me, it goes straight to death, you know? So I just think it's interesting, like things that are engraved in languages, right? Like even in some Asian languages too, right, that I've seen people speak, when you compliment, when you say something that, or like when you do something for someone and they say thank you, instead of saying you're welcome, you say no. Or like if somebody is complimenting you, instead of saying thank you, you say no. Like that's the response. You're like, no, you deny it, right? And if you're denying praise or somebody encouraging you, doesn't that lower somebody's self-esteem? You know, so I feel like there is, I just saw 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you guys are an ascension plan. Ooh, and I got chills too. Yeah, I feel like you guys are in this place where you guys are shedding behind old layers of things that no longer serve you. So here's just like a little bit of an input or a reminder from your future self to be mindful of your language, because this is another thing that you can let go of. This feels like shedding layers here, you guys. Shedding layers here, you guys. I don't know if I said that properly. Speaking of speaking. Yeah, I do feel like you guys are emerging. Like this Scorpion card is really giving off healing vibes. Even the full moon, you guys are in this beautiful place of approaching surrender. Some of you have already started the surrender, you know. I feel like you have started the surrender and you will be coming into a full surrender mode. Surrender to the universe, surrender to God, to make all of the things that you want to come into fruition, to live a life of pure joy and happiness. Like you guys are really putting in the work here. And like you guys have already done a lot of work in regards to your sight and like your mental, like when I say sight, I mean like psychic sight, right? The way that you perceive the world, and like your mental state of mind, right? The way that your mentality, the way that you not just perceive but comprehend the actions of the world. Also, yeah, I feel like there's so many different chakras present here. With the blue spectrum, initially you would think that it would be like the throat chakra, but this is a darker indigo blue, so this is also like the third eye chakra. The divine inner strength, this is making me think of the higher heart chakra. Then you have the solar plexus here. More activity with the light being talking about your heart. So I do feel like you guys are you guys are going through an expansion. And you guys did choose 11, right? 11 is also a number of expansion, of awakening. Yeah. Let me see if I can get any other messages for you guys, because I feel like that was basically kind of the key point. It's really, when I saw this Ace of Swords, I was like, yes, it's about communication. And the words that you use, because even here, like this Five of Wands feels a little out of place. It almost feels like for somebody who's so far along in their light, I guess, and in their journey to enlightenment and living a fulfilled life and all of this stuff, you guys are still using language that, like, it doesn't belong, like language that doesn't belong. You know, like it's time for the speech to evolve as well. So your future self is kind of reminding you this so that you can bring in things quicker. I think your future self is trying to, like, again, your future self is really coming through more so to commend you, right? To be like, good job, you did great, you're doing great so far. But let's start working on our speech too, because you know what? This is actually going to bring even greater things. You know, it's almost like your future self is saying, like, if there's anything I could go back in this time in my life, in this time in your life, and adjust, it would be the way that I spoke. The way that I spoke to others, the way that I spoke to myself, and the words that I used to speak. Okay, that's what it feels like your future self is coming through with. But other than that, you guys are doing great. You're at a beautiful place. Oh, I got chills again when I was thinking of the Scorpion being so healing for you. I feel like you guys are good at going layers deep, and you guys recently went through maybe it was with this Scorpio full moon that just passed, the Scorpio lunar eclipse that was not too long ago. I feel like you guys could have had a big transformation, right? A big change. Like here, the swan is emerging from the water. It's like there are two sides now. So like a reflection, the swan is seeing itself as a swan now, right? Before, growing up as an ugly duckling, don't you think the swan would have, even when it became a swan, started thinking of itself as an ugly duckling because that's just how it grew up? Well, it's like you had this clarity, you had this insight, this even duality. Duality is necessary for us to observe ourselves. So it looks like you guys have revealed something to yourself. You've had this massive realization, and it's like, yes, I finally see myself. So now I can move past whatever is going on, whatever I felt like I couldn't leave behind, or that was holding me back. Now I can go full force because I finally see, I can point a finger at the thing that was holding me back. Okay, so it's like you guys have actually just had a moment, it feels like more around the time of that Scorpio lunar eclipse, right? Where it's like, yes. And for those of you who are watching this at a different point in the year or something like that, it doesn't have to be around Scorpio lunar eclipse. The message still is saying, like, you guys recently had this deep insight, this deep clarity, this, like, it's like a shift where something showed you a mirror. Like there was always a mirror and you were always seeing, like, for example, you're standing here, right? And there's a mirror, but it was facing this way, right? So like, this is the mirror. The mirror was not, you were not facing the mirror. The mirror was technically in front of you, but it was like this. So you only saw a portion of yourself and stuff around there. And then you adjusted it, but you adjusted it this to see the other side. But it's like somebody, like your guides, your higher self, just went choop. And it's like you really saw it. You saw what was in the middle, which was like the core, the really big thing, you know? And you're like, holy cow. Okay, now I'm going on. I'm going forward. Now that I can point a finger, I can keep going. So I feel like that's what you guys currently experience or have been going through. And so your higher self and your future self are coming through about this language, okay? They're like, this is just the next step, okay? You guys are doing great. I feel excited now. Like, yay, you're great, you're great, you're great, okay? Whew. All right, group 2. That was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I am also taking suggestions for the kind of videos that you guys would like to see as well. I also love these little discussions. Sometimes it takes a little bit for me to respond, like a little bit of time, but I do respond. I work on responding to, I try to respond to all of the comments. You know, when I see like the more to the current videos and stuff like that. Obviously, if it's a video from like 4 months ago, there's a chance I probably won't see the comment. But yes, I try to respond to all the comments. And yeah, I'd also appreciate if you guys subscribe to this channel. Yeah, and so that you can be up to date, you know, when new stuff comes out and all of that jazz. And also, again, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet or a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me through the modalities in the description box below. But also, you guys, I've been trying to be more active on Instagram. I know I said this for like a couple of videos, but like I really mean it this time. Like if you look, you'll see that like I've been posting almost every day, and it's all content that I think could be great for you guys if it comes across your feed. You know, I believe in divine timing, so I think it'll be like whenever you need a message, you'll see something there. So I would appreciate your support on there too. It'll also help, you know, keep the inspiration for posting for you guys too. But only if you want to follow, of course. It is in the description box below. It's just Instagram. Like my handle is NutAeum. But yes, that's it for the reading, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Bye, Group 2. Hey, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your group if you chose this Capricorn dice thing. Let's ring your singing bowl. One more. That was kind of quiet. There we go. All right, you guys, let's reveal this card. I also just finished shuffling your cards. Let's see what you've got. Also, I do want to say, I don't remember who the singer is, but you know, I don't know if you guys know, there's a song called Big Girls Don't Cry. Is it Fergie, I think? It's like an older song. But that song was just stuck in my... I have not heard that song in forever. Like, literally, I have not listened to it in so long. But I keep hearing, I heard that song and it was like playing like nonstop in my head while I was shuffling your cards. So I'm wondering if that's it, right? Because it's like, I need some, what are the words? I need some for my own protection, baby. Living myself in clarity, peace, serenity. Right, so it's like basically at some point in the song, she's saying that she wants like peace, clarity, serenity. You know, she needs to do this for her own protection. And she's like, I hope you know this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, like myself and I, like it's her own thing. We like she's got to straighten up stuff in her own life, right? We've got some straightening up to do. She's like, and I'm gonna miss you because, you know, all this stuff, but I gotta get my life together. You know, it's essentially kind of the meaning. And she's like, I need to grow up. I need to get things in order, right? Because she does say big girls don't cry, but it's almost like she's saying, like, instead of being, in this case, it's like, instead of crying and wallowing over what I'm going through, it's time to kind of look at it and overcome it. Ooh, look at that. You guys got the Creator. Look how beautiful this card is. All right, let's get into your cards. So let's set them all here. Let's start with the tarot. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. I will say some of the cards that you guys got, they like flew out. We have the 10 of Wands. The King of Cups. Yeah, the ones that are upside down, they're upside down because they literally flew out. I normally don't do reversals. So we have 10 of Pentacles. The Shamanic Journey. Ooh. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. What is it? Cetacean? Whale? Or no. Change with Andromeda. And Refining Galactic Lineage with Pleiades. Ooh, you see, like that song, she's basically saying goodbye. That song, right? Big Girls Don't Cry. She's saying goodbye to someone. She's like, look, I've got to straighten out my life. I need to figure me out. I need to heal me. Yeah, I'm gonna reveal all the cards, you guys. So then we have Archangel Elamiah with Inward Spiritual Journey. Yeah, you see, I got some, it's personal. It's personal, myself and I. We've got some straightening out to do. Inward Spiritual Journey, yeah. Wow, these are all going so well. Gateway of Direction, Archangel Camuel. We have Halls of Amenti, Initiation, Secrets Revealed, Treasures Uncovered, Initiations. And Angelic Frequency, Angels are here. You are safe, potent connection. They chose you. Look how beautiful these colors are too. You might not really believe this. It may even spook you a bit. But there are those who chose this very lifetime in large part knowing you'd be here. Now that's what we call a reputation. Hugs, the universe. Take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Yes, you see, like, she takes a break from the relationship because she needs to straight, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's this kind of like a isolation thing going here, because even the Halls of Amenti card always makes me think of the High Priestess card, and there she is alone in solitude getting clarity. Okay. Ooh, I'm feeling so much stimulation. That's so uncomfortable, and it feels like it is in the area right above my heart area, but in my back, right? So this is okay. Yeah, it is the heart. It's like the heart area, the higher heart. It's heart healing, right? It's heart stuff. And since it's the back has to do with your past, our ties to the past. So I feel like that's what you guys are experiencing. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. Oh my goodness. Oh, sometimes when I do readings, I get like clear, what is the word? Clear sentient messages. So it's like I'll feel it in my physical body. Okay, then we have hibiscus yellow with fortune and good luck. We also have Brunfelsia uniflora with felicitatiously and calmly. And then there's also the oyster, the hummingbird, the fixed signs, so action, momentum, and dedication. The 7th house, partnerships, balance, one-on-one relationships. And then we have the beginning of fall. So it's interesting because you guys have extra emphasis talking about your relationships, other people, and things like isolation, like leaving things behind, leaving connections behind. Because of that song basically said it all, right? No wonder it was playing so strongly. It's like, even here, right, with the because this is the beginning of fall. What happens at the beginning of fall? Leaves begin to fall, right? It's almost as though some of you guys are either already decided on it, or your future self is asking you to decide. To be honest, there seems to be a little bit of a time crunch here. So I never like to put pressure on people, but it feels like your future self is coming through to say, like, I would like for you to decide now, to take the time for you, to do for you. You've got to sort out your own house. You've got to sort out your own inner world before you can commit to any other connection, for any other relationship. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but I do think that for you guys, it could be romantic relationships, you know? I think you guys have prioritized your relationships with others over yourselves for too long. And it's time for you guys to pick you, you know? And I feel some of you guys have already started doing that, but like your future self is saying, do it more. Your future self is saying you've got to really choose yourself. Even with this, you guys chose Capricorn, right? Capricorn is one of those signs that can be self-deprecating, you know, and that they can have self-esteem issues and self-worth issues. They feel like they are only worthy or deserving of people's love and care by having to earn it, right? Because Capricorn is like a breadwinner. So they have to earn people's affection. They have to earn it. They have to be worthy of it to deserve it. So it's very much like their self-worth is non-existent, right? And again, I'm not saying all Capricorns are like this. I'm just saying it's Capricorn, the sign, and people who have Capricorn energies in their chart that are stronger, they tend to be a little bit more predisposed to self-esteem issues and self-worth issues, because their value comes from how much they can give or serve, you know, and that's how they measure their own value too. So it's like your future self is coming through saying, I want you to choose yourself. It's time for you to choose yourself. Other people and your connection to others does not determine how worthy you are of love, how much you deserve love, how lovable you are. Okay? So that's why you even have shamanic journey and change and refining galactic lineage, right? Galactic lineage is talking to me about like your ancestors. You guys were taught this. You were taught this by your mother. I feel like a lot, for most of you, it's your mother. It could be father. Again, this doesn't have to be biological mother. It's the mother figure. But it feels like the mother figure has taught you guys this guilt about loving yourselves, this guilt about taking care of yourselves, truly, not physically, not taking a shower, you know, massaging, getting a massage every once in a while, painting your nails, or working out, or trimming a beard or whatever. I'm trying to be, you know, general with the descriptions, right? But like, it feels like when it comes to emotional stuff, your mother was not the mother figure for the majority of you guys, because it could be father too, but I feel like the mother figure impacted you guys a little bit more in regards to how you see yourselves and the self-love thing. So I feel like the mother figure did not show you guys how to be that for yourself, because your mother figure most likely did not feel that way. So it does feel like this galactic lineage, refining galactic lineage, it's like you guys are being called on from your future self. It's like trying to show you, like, you are shedding your maternal influences, karmic stuff too in this journey. And shamanic journey, it's really about going deep within into your soul, bringing back pieces of yourself that you lost, right? I remember coming across this once somebody brought it up to me like months ago, or maybe a year or something ago, but there was a connection, or I saw it in a video, there was a connection between the soul and trauma, right? So, and the psyche, I should say. So anytime somebody experiences trauma, it was like this, I think it was a male shaman from like Brazil, who was also a psychologist or something, who pointed it out, something along this line. There was a book on it too, but it talks about how when you experience big trauma, it damages the psyche, and every time that the psyche gets damaged, a piece of your soul is like broken off, right? So the shamanic journey is about piecing yourself back together, calling yourself fully in, right? Because if you guys have already been predisposed to the idea of overgiving to everybody else, that you internally, you inside don't matter, you're not as important, how are you ever going to recollect yourselves, right? So they're saying you are the creator of your life. You, it's up to you, and it's time for a change. You do not have to shoulder everything else for everyone else and think about how you can serve everyone else. It's time for you to really have this realization and come to terms with you. Because I feel like you guys have already started having this shift, but your future self and your higher self are saying, child, you started shifting, but now you haven't realized how you're overgiving you're overgiving again. So figure out a way that you can overcome this, because it's time for you to overcome this, you know. And a reminder from the people that you may have to step away from, right? If, for example, there are friends that you're like, look, you guys, I'm sorry, but I need some time to me. I need some time to figure it out. Or if it is romantic relationships, right? You're just kind of like, this is a good person. I don't know why I'm not happy in the connection. It's like, how can you truly be happy with the connection if you're not happy within yourself, right? If you don't feel lovable or like you deserve something within yourself, how can you enjoy a healthy connection? You know, so you guys may have to tell your partner or a friend, like, hey, I just need a little bit of space or time. It doesn't mean that you guys are breaking up or that you're saying, I never want to see you again. It just means that there is a period in your life that you guys are going through, that your future self is advising you to go on this journey of isolating yourself a little bit and coming to terms with this, like really seeing it, hearing that part of you that feels that way. Not being like, no, don't feel this way, right? Because that's a self-judgment, and all that does is perpetuate the sensation. But really, like, because you're talking to a hurt child here, right? A hurt child, telling them, no, what you're doing is wrong, is only perpetuating the same thing that they're already feeling. So the approach here now becomes, you know what? I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to make you different, okay? I just want to hear what you have to say. I want to see you, and I want to give you love, right? Because if you're going to tell that child, that part of you, right, that it needs to change, what you're doing is rejecting it. You're giving it the same experience of rejection that it already feels. So now it again is like that part of you will feel, oh, because I need to change because I am unlovable, because I am unworthy, right? So the best approach here is not to be like, I need to change this, even though we have the card change here, and you will be changing it. The approach here is when you're looking at this aspect of yourself, think of it as if you are two people. You are you, and then you are your higher self. Okay, now go into the perspective of your higher self and talk to you and be like, why do you feel this way, my love? Why do you feel this way? I'm not trying to change it. I'm not trying to change anything about how you feel, but you know, I just want to understand you so that I can give you even more love. Okay, I just want to hear you. I want to hear you talk. Why do you feel this way? You know? And then don't, after you hear the solution or the reason or get the answer, instantly try to change it. Instead, what you do is fuel that hurt part of you with more love, right? So now you guys go on to be like, well, you know what? I understand that you feel this way because of this, this, and this. I completely get it. I just want you to know that I'm always going to be here for you, and I love you regardless. I will always love you, no matter what. Okay, so every time you say that, that hurt part of you starts to feel like that it has support. And so it can feel more comfortable to come out into the light, and then to start letting go, loosening up the grip a little, and eventually it'll start growing up, right? Or changing or evolving. Let's not say change. It'll start evolving. It'll start healing. That's the word. Healing. Sorry guys, I need a sip of water. But yeah, so I feel like that's what your future self is really coming through with, you know? It's time for you guys to really dive deep into this. Because you know what? The fact that these two cards were reversed, right? This is about like dropping those shields and to really have a big look. Not the illusion of looking at yourself, but to really look at yourself and be like, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm going through. I've been prioritizing everybody else over myself so many times, and when I start choosing me, stuff happens in the outside world where I need to offer more of my time or help others more because an emergency or this or that. And it's like, well, yeah, it's almost in a way like your subconscious is looking for an out from looking at it, right? It's like a little bit of a self-sabotage. So stuff is always going to happen around you. Always. That's just how life is. We can't control other people's lives, their experiences. That's part of their journey. But it doesn't mean that you have to wait for everything to be calm in order to start the progress, in order to start looking at you. Because then it'll never happen, right? That's just an excuse. Just an excuse. Wow, I feel like I need to articulate a little more. I feel like my articulation game has gone a little down. And just a reminder for those of the people, like, because I was saying it earlier, like if it's a friend, if it's a partner that you have to step away from, remember that they chose you. They chose you. And this goes both ways. This goes to the same for the people in your life, even if they're relatives who are constantly looking to rely on you for something, or if they need something or whatever, and they always pick you. They chose you. They chose you knowing that you're going to be the one who does everything. So you guys have to retrain them a little bit by choosing you instead. Like, you've got to choose you. And then as far as the people who like really genuinely care about you, and again, it could also be friends, coworkers that were doing the same thing where they were choosing you to take advantage, right? I'm not saying all relatives are going to be doing that. You could also have relatives that genuinely care about you, all of this stuff, just examples, okay? But the ones that, you know, you do have this communication with and you're like, hey, look, I really care about you. I just need this time for myself for a little bit. You remember, like, you don't have to worry about like saying that to them because they chose you. Because they care about you, they love you. So if they love you, they want what's best for you. And if what's best for you is having some time to yourself, then they're going to be okay with that. And if they're not, then they're not what's best for you, okay? All right, you guys. Wow. Okay. So group 3, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys kind of, I know it was a little, hopefully it wasn't too rushed feeling. But you guys, your future self is really strongly coming through and saying, choose you, please. Like, I choose you, so you've got to choose you too. And it's something that eventually you are going to do, but you know, it's like, and you've already started, but I feel like you've allowed yourself, like, don't get caught up in the distractions, because distractions are always going to come up, or it's going to make you feel like you need to choose something over yourself again, out of obligation or duty, or it's just like, there's no other out, I've got to do this. But it's like, that's not the case. It's not necessarily the case, because those things are always going to come up. So don't let that be the reason to stop you, okay? All right, group 3, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Maybe you can even like affirm, like, from today, I choose me, or, you know, if there's something specifically that you guys wanted to share about this or anything along those lines, or even video suggestions, like things that you guys would like to see, you can leave that all in the comments down below. Also, if you guys are up for it, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to the channel to support the channel and to be updated anytime new stuff comes out. And yeah, also I'd just like to let you guys know that I am posting more stuff on Instagram now. So if you would like to show some support on there as well, the Instagram is down below. It is NutAeum, that's the handle. And of course it is all content for you guys too, so it's all that jazz. And yeah, and if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet or even a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, which are all in the description box below. All right, group 3, thank you so much for being here today. I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? Lots of light. And I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm proud of you guys for continuing to choose you. Lots of love to you guys. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye, group 3. Hey, group 4. Welcome to your reading. This is your group if you chose Jupiter. Let me sing the ringing bowl. I just sing the ringing bowl. I said, let me sing the ringing bowl. Let me ring the singing bowl. That was funny. Let me ring the singing bowl. Let me sing the ringing bowl. I mean, I guess that's true too, right? Okay, but yes, I just finished shuffling your guys' cards. So let's set your dice to the side. Let's see what this is. Ooh, the cave. Interesting. We'll touch on that soon. Let's reveal all your cards. Okay, we've got the King of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, Black League Patterning with Orion, the number 38, the Missing Link with Earth, Alchemy with Esasani, Alchemy, Belief Systems with Earth. I'll make it pretty after I get everything down. We have the Green Spectrum, Archangel Azrael with Celestial Peace and Unity, Merkaba Activation with Transcendence, Ascension, You Are Rising Up, What You Give Will Come Back. When in doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. When there's no doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. Did I make life too easy? The universe. P.S. There's no doubt who is number 1 in my book. Shh. Then we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Then we have Teddy Bear Sunflower, rising and brilliant. Oops. Dahlia, pink, kindness, and feminine. Hibiscus, red and orange with playful and funny. Yeah, you guys are funny. You guys are funny because I was laughing at the start of your reading. We also have Otter, and Otter is very playful and funny too. And then we have Imam Koeli. Interesting. I guess, is that like the midheaven or the division? So it says Nader, origins and inner child. This is so interesting. And then we have Uranus with revolution, invention, and eccentricity. And we have the South Node. Wow, there is so much talk here, you guys. Because, you know, it's interesting. I'm not surprised that you guys chose this and it ended up being the cave. because the cave is talking about going into the depths, right? Going into somewhere, and look, there's a little light there too. It's like going into the depth to kind of get this insight. It's like you're going into the deep of your subconscious, really getting, you know, a lot of healing is going on for a lot of people. That's really good. I'm really proud of you guys. But yeah, you guys have a lot of emphasis on the past, right? You've got the South Node, this card, I'm not going to try to pronounce it again, the missing link, the belief systems, right? Alchemy is talking about transmuting your current situation. You also have the cave talking about that. So, and unbound, right? Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So I feel like you guys are currently going through a deep spiritual healing. And you guys are emerging, and I feel like you're going to be emerging soon. And I feel like your future self is coming through, and they're telling you to like sweep all the corners, you know? It feels like since you guys are diving in, just go in all the way. Like, it may feel exhausting, or it may feel like overwhelming, or the thought of it may seem like that's too much all at once. You know, you're trying to be gentle with yourself. But I feel like your future self is saying, trust me, it'll be better in the long run if you do all of it now. So since you're already sweeping, go into every corner, into every crevice. Since you're already going into the cave, really go in as deep as you can. You're going to be able to come out, you know, you will come out. It's time to like really readdress all of these core patternings, all of these core beliefs. And you've already been working on it, right? You've been doing things like similar to affirmations or EFT tapping videos or like meditations or something to get this clarity and insight and to like go into these, to do this healing, right? But I just feel like your future self is coming through and is saying like, I'm proud of you and I promise we can overcome this. So really go in deep. Let's just do the full cleaning. You've got this. You can do this, okay? It's time, right? With the whole transcendence ascension, you are rising up. It's time. It's time to let it go. We don't have to baby ourselves like a little and do a little bit here, a little bit there. This way you don't have to step into the cave as frequently. Like, it's time to just go in and clean it out, you know, as opposed to, so you can do it all in the span of like 3 months, as opposed to in the span of like a year or more, because you keep going in and out and then going into a different part and out and like navigating through all of that. Yeah, there's a lot of core belief healing. You guys are doing amazing, incredible things, okay? Good job. You're actually getting to the core of what needs to be worked on. And look, you even chose Jupiter. Jupiter is expansion, right? What you give will come back. It's almost like saying, I think it's the same thing actually, talking about what we were mentioning earlier with the whole like, just go in all the way so that you don't have to do. So like the fact that you're making in this full effort, instead of doing a little bit of the coddling, like you're really going in, you're really making in this full effort, you're actually going to get rewarded even greatly for it, you know? So you're going to be putting in a little bit more work here, but you're going to get so much more from it. Even here you have rising and brilliant again, right? Like a star. Kindness and feminine, and then playful and funny. Yeah, you guys are so funny. I feel like you are a light and a joy to so many people, and your future self is saying, because you're such a bright light, because you are such a joy, you are not going to get lost if you go in dark. I feel like go in dark, like it feels like not go in the dark, but like go in dark, like you really are going in there. I think you guys may be a little concerned or worried about if you guys go in too deep. If you really go to all the core things all at once, you may be lingering in negative thoughts or emotions too long, and then maybe you start creating your reality because you're like from that place, right? Because you've been in the hurt for too long, so you start creating from the hurt again, or like you're gonna start being down or like sad or depressed or something because you're just in that energy while you're doing the healing for a prolonged time. But again, your future self is saying that's not going to be the case because you have the knowledge, you are aware of this, you know, so you're not going to be attracting negative things. It may seem like that at first, for like the first week or two, maybe even the first 3 weeks, okay? But it's something that you guys are going to overcome. You're not going to, It's because you're diving deeper that you're actually bringing in more miracles and blessings. So like you putting in this time, you being okay with being a little down or sad or in like a more gentle, calmer, maybe sometimes a little like gloomier or like sadder energy, or like a surrender energy, where emotional, that's the word. The more emotional energy, you being okay with being in that for a bit longer, is actually going to be benefiting you guys in the long run. Okay? And you guys have done so, you guys, again, I'm being told you've done so well. You are doing so well. You've done incredible healing, incredible shadow work. It's just time to really get it all out there. You know, again, it's like that expression, sweeping the corners. That is such a good, I have to remember that for future stuff. I've never said that before in my life, in like a context of a reading, or like in a metaphor type way that I can recall, at least. So this is a fun new analogy to use. But yeah, you guys have got to like do the work. You know, even with this Three of Pentacles, it's almost like you see this person is hard at work in the background. And there's collaboration, there's friendship, there's people admiring your work. So it's like, you may think that you are going to be stuck. Yeah, even here, the King of Cups, it's like the master of emotions, right? So you may be in an emotionally sensitive space for doing this. There may be more tears, there may be more distress, there may be more crying or like shock at the deep realizations that you're coming to about your life, about your past, about your childhood, your experiences. And even I feel like you guys could be having some dreams about your past lives, or like the sensations of your past lives, those emotions that are coming through as well. Okay? And you guys are going to be healing that. So you're going to be working on it. And don't worry about people like judging you because you've been seen as this happy, positive light for people. You know, don't worry about that, because you know what? People are going to be seeing the work that you're putting into yourself, the way that you're resculpting yourself and creating yourself brand like squeaky clean. And they're going to be admiring that. Like you are an exhibit. You are an exhibit. Yeah, you're like a work of art. And you're just refining yourself even more so. And people are incredibly in awe and inspired by you. So your future self is saying, don't stray from that. Don't worry about going in deeper, because you're going to get those real key points, those real key lessons and things that you've got to get from going in deeper. Okay, it's time to reinvent it's time to really let it go. Okay, for drastic change. Uranus is talking about drastic change. Okay, it's time for that. It's time for that drastic change. You guys can handle it. You guys can do it, okay? Let's see what else I'm getting here. I feel like I have to, like, for you guys, I'm going to roll the dice. One second. I'm going to roll this dice. Okay, we've got the number 4. 4 is the Emperor in Tarot. 4 is the 4th house, ruled by Cancer, associated with your home life. So the Emperor and your home life, you know, you guys, that is like mastering. And 4 is foundations, right? 4 walls, 4 corners, 4 support beams holding something up, a structure. So you guys going into that cave is you really going into the core. Like you guys, I'm telling you, if you keep going, like instead of just touching a little bit, then doing some work and then going back a little later when you feel ready, if you really go into it, you guys are going to be restructuring. It's almost like you're taking out the walls that were flimsy to begin with, and you're like putting in new structure, new foundation, or like the foundation was like a very rotted wood. And so you guys are going in, you're taking it out, you're changing it out. It may take longer because you're doing it that way, because you're changing the foundation before you build the structure. But you're building a structure on something sturdy, on something stable, and something that will last a very long time. It's not going to crumble at the, you know, at just some kind of a trigger or something along those lines. Okay, so yes, there is a little bit of emphasis on like continuing to do the work, but again, there's so much acknowledgement coming through for how much you guys have already accomplished, how much you guys have already done. So good job to you, okay? Good job. I'm gonna give you an applause. I feel like almost every reading there is a group that is getting an applause, so I'm wondering if it's the same group. I'm wondering if you guys are always the ones getting the applause. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Am I always applauding you in these readings? Let's see what else I can get here before we move on or before we end this reading. I think that was really the gist of it. Yeah, I feel like you guys are reprogramming, rewiring, and revisiting so that you can kind of heal and strengthen the your core beliefs, right? Your fundamental core beliefs and ways of going about seeing yourself and all of this stuff. And for you guys, I also feel like there's a bit of emphasis on your structure around money, okay? You guys are kind of revamping that too, your beliefs around money, okay? Okay, and anything else? Okay, yeah, I think that's it for your group for today, group 4. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, I'd appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. I'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If it resonated, you know, if you did feel like there was a couple more things that you could work on, but you wanted to like pace yourself and be kind and gentle with yourself, you know, and now with your future self being like, don't be doing that, like be kind and gentle and love yourself, but just go in all the way. I'd also appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel too, to show some support to the channel. You don't have to, of course, but it would be nice if you did. Also, I am more active on Instagram. I know I've mentioned my Instagram on a few different videos saying I will be more active. Well, this time I'm actually doing it. You can see if you go onto my Instagram. I've been posting almost every single day, and it's all content for you guys, so that when it does come across your page, that it is divine timing for you to receive this message and all of this stuff and all that jazz. Okay, my Instagram is like, the handle is just NutAeum, right? It's also in my description box. And yeah, if you guys are also interested in a private personal reading or a custom crystal bracelet or a custom affirmation song, you can feel free to reach out to me through the contacts page on my website or through my email. Okay. All right, group 4, that was your reading for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of light. Okay, you guys have got this. You can do it. You can overcome. Okay, you guys even have, oh, at the bottom of the deck, you have the sun, you see, and there is that light going into that deep cave. You guys are coming into that deep, oh, and underneath the sun, we have Cancer. Remember, we talked about that. Cancer is the 4th house. So maybe they're saying, like, maybe also it could be a bit of a time frame for you guys too, like saying that it may take a couple of months. Okay, it may take you guys getting into Cancer season. Like, because you're going to be, if you continue to choose to do what your future self guided you to and just keep going deeper in there, okay? But you are going to overcome it. You are going to get through it, get past it, and it's going to be great because you've gotten basically all the corners swept, right? But yes, so much light to you guys, so much love. I love you, group 4. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your You have a wonderful rest of your day. A wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.